Welcome to Bristol, one of the most historic and culturally rich cities in England. The journey begins at London Paddington Station, with a train to Bristol Temple Meads, the city's main railway station. Designed by the great engineer Isambard Kingdom Brunel and opened in 1840, Temple Meads is itself a landmark of Victorian engineering and a fitting starting point for exploring a city built on innovation, trade, and exploration. The first view of Bristol comes with the River Avon, a waterway that has shaped the city for over 1,000 years. The name Bristol itself derives from Brixtow, meaning the place at the bridge. In the Middle Ages, the Avon and its harbour made Bristol one of the most important trading ports in England. Today, the river is home to the floating harbour, created in 1809 to allow ships to remain afloat regardless of the tide. This engineering project transformed Bristol's role as a maritime hub and laid the foundation for its industrial growth in the 19th century. Bristol's history is long and layered. It became a recognized town in the 11th century and grew rapidly as a port. By the 14th century, it was ranked as one of the wealthiest cities in England, trading wool, wine, and later playing a role in transatlantic exploration. John Cabot's voyage from Bristol in 1497, which led to the European discovery of parts of North America, cemented the city's importance on the global stage. The wealth generated by trade is still visible in its architecture, from medieval churches to grand Georgian terraces. Bristol's city centre is the heart of the city, where history and modern life meet. Broadmead and Cabot Circus offer a mix of shops, cafes, and restaurants, making it a lively spot for visitors. Just a short walk away is the historic Corn Street, once home to Bristol's busy markets and now lined with elegant buildings, bars, and eateries. From here you can also reach the floating harbour, which connects the centre to the Harbourside. The city centre is not only a place for shopping and dining, but also a starting point for exploring Bristol's cultural landmarks, including the Bristol Old Vic Theatre and the Grand City Hall on College Green. St. John on the Wall, or St. John's Gate, is a remarkable survival from medieval Bristol. Built in the 14th century as part of the old city walls, it is the only remaining church of its kind in the city. Its position above the gateway symbolized both protection and faith, as travelers entered or left Bristol beneath its arch. The tower and clock were later additions, but the Gothic windows and original structure remain intact. This church is an enduring reminder of Bristol's fortified past. Harborside itself has been central to Bristol's identity since the medieval period. Ships once lined these quays, connecting the city to Europe, Africa, and the Americas. In the 19th century, Bristol was overtaken by Liverpool as a port, but the legacy of its maritime past is still strong. Today, the Harborside is home to the Shed Museum, which tells the story of Bristol and its people, and the Arnolfini, one of Europe's leading centres for contemporary art. The floating harbour remains a remarkable feat of Georgian engineering. Bristol Cathedral is one of the city's finest historic buildings. Originally founded as St. Augustine's Abbey in 1140, it became a cathedral in 1542 after the dissolution of the monasteries under Henry VIII. It is particularly noted for its unique hall church design, where the nave and aisles are of equal height, creating an impressive sense of space. The Elder Lady Chapel, dating from the 13th century, is among the finest examples of medieval architecture in the region. Inside, the cathedral holds monuments to prominent citizens, reflecting centuries of Bristol's civic and religious history. Beside the cathedral stands Bristol City Hall, originally known as the Council House. Completed in 1956, it was designed by architect Vincent Harris in a neo-Georgian style. The sweeping curved facade faces College Green, a space long associated with civic life. Although modern compared to the neighbouring cathedral, City Hall symbolises Bristol's continuity as a centre of governance, linking medieval, early modern, and contemporary periods in one location. short distance away lies Brandon Hill, the oldest public park in Bristol, first designated as common land in the 17th century. It provides not only a natural refuge within the city but also sweeping views across Bristol and the Avon Gorge. Over time, Brandon Hill became a place for recreation and civic pride, linking green space with the surrounding historic cityscape. At the summit of Brandon Hill rises the Cabot Tower, built in 1897 to commemorate the 400th anniversary of John Cabot's voyage from Bristol to North America. Constructed of red sandstone with cream bathstone details, the tower stands 32 meters tall. It serves as both a monument to Bristol's maritime heritage and a reminder of the city's role in exploration during the late 15th century. From the top, visitors gain a commanding view of Bristol and its surrounding countryside, reinforcing the city's connection to both land and sea. above the road, the red brick towers of Queen Elizabeth's Hospital look more like a fortress than a school. Founded in 1586 during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, the institution was created to provide education for the city's young boys. Over the centuries it has grown and adapted, but the building still carries the weight of history. Passing by today, it stands as a reminder of Bristol's long tradition of learning and its proud architectural heritage. Into Clifton, Royal York Crescent represents Bristol's Georgian prosperity. Built between 1791 and 1820, it is one of the longest terraces in Europe and a prime example of late 18th century town planning. The crescent reflects the growth of Clifton as a fashionable residential area during a time when Bristol was thriving from commerce and trade. Its elegant symmetry and commanding position overlooking the city underline the status of its original residents. The journey concludes at the Clifton Suspension Bridge, the most iconic symbol of Bristol. Designed by Isambard Kingdom Brunel in the early 19th century and completed in 1864, the bridge spans 214 meters across the Avon Gorge. It is both an engineering triumph and a masterpiece of Victorian design. The bridge not only connected Clifton with Lee Woods but also became a symbol of Bristol's ambition, progress, and identity. Today it remains one of the most admired suspension bridges in the world. tour through Bristol has taken us from Temple Mead Station to the Clifton Suspension Bridge, exploring rivers, churches, markets, civic spaces, parks, and Georgian terraces along the way. These landmarks reveal a city shaped by trade, exploration, innovation, and resilience. Today, Bristol continues to balance its historic legacy with its role as a modern, creative centre in England. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on our next adventure.